The best, worst podcast you've ever heard. And now, The Ronnie and Bo Show, brought to you by Prescott Realty.
Can you whistle? Oh, there you can.
Whistle while you work. Can I whistle?
Oh, can you whistle? Can you please whistle?
Can I whistle? You know how to whistle, don't you? Just put your lips together and blow. Which one was the real whistle and which one was the sound effect?
I don't know. That's a good guess. I don't have a guess right there. I would say the first one.
No, it was the last one.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Right, yeah.
I don't know. It was a rhetorical question. I wasn't waiting for your answer.
I put my lips together, but I didn't blow at the very beginning, and nothing came out. And that's not the best way to start a podcast. But if you're wondering, you are now listening to the Ronnie and Bo Show, brought to you by Prescott Realty. Welcome. We're glad that you're with us.
Prescott Realty can be reached at 928-499-8700 or PrescottRealty.com. They've got two offices to serve, downtown Prescott and Williamson Valley, and we'll tell you more about their specialty agents at the end of the show. Ronnie and Bo merchandise for sale on our Facebook shop. Check us out on Facebook, and you can buy a Ronnie and Bo hat, a Ronnie and Bo t-shirt.
Correct. And thanks so much for those of you that are leaving reviews wherever you listen to the podcast. We know it's kind of a pain, but it does help people find us. Also, if you have an opportunity to email us, please do. We would love that. RonnieandBoShow@gmail.com is our email address for topic ideas. We'll take those. You got questions? I don't care what they are. Just shoot us some questions in an email, and we're going to begin answering a couple of questions per episode. So shoot us an email at RonnieandBoShow@gmail.com.
Now,
and then November 1st.
November 1st.
Oh, my goodness.
We are, Johnny Be Good, Chuck Berry.
Yeah.
One day your name will be in lights.
Yeah.
Singing Johnny Be Good tonight. Go, 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 go.
Exactly.
Our name is going to be in lights.
Yeah, at the Elks Theater in Prescott, Arizona, downtown Prescott.
Have you ever been booked to do a paid gig? I mean,
not in a
in that kind of environment?
not in a theater like this. No.
I mean, we're selling tickets.
We are selling tickets. You can buy a ticket to an evening of comedy with the Ronnie and Bo Show at the Elks Theater.
So this is incredible. Ronnie has hooked up with 1010 Ministry, and they are doing a fundraiser, and we are selling tickets at PrescottElksTheater.com.
Right.
I mean, this is real. This is pressure.
It's a real
This is pressure, and we're gonna perform some comedy for you.
Oh man,
this is not a tribute to Elvis.
Have you started waking up in the middle of the night
to the Eagles,
worrying? Yeah.
Oh, are you telling me? What are you talking about? We're 3 months away. I'm still scared. I don't know how many months away we are.
Yeah, we're sandwiched right in between the fake Smokey Robinson and the fake
Ray
Charles. And so, and like you said, the fake Ronnie and Bo might be better than the real Ronnie and Bo, but we're going to give it a shot.
So, yeah, maybe we should just do a tribute. A tribute act.
Do we have
a
to
Ronnie
die
and Bo
first?
Show tribute act. We got to go find two guys to do our act,
man.
and it'll be the tribute. Yeah, we might have to die first. So no, but seriously, we're selling tickets. This is a real gig. This is not. This is you have to buy tickets. You have to show up,
right? And
we have to perform.
That's true.
I mean, this is real.
This is
real.
This is real. And so the tickets start at $22. You can get those at PrescottElksTheater.com or go down to the ticket office. And
we'll find their phone number. Can you find the phone number for the ticket box? We'll find it at the end of the show. Okay.
We'll get it to you by the end of the show.
I used to know it because we used to push a lot of those shows in there. Can I tell you? So this is serious.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that I've said this is serious 6 times make it sound like a joke, but this is serious. And if nobody shows up, then we're in trouble. I want to share a story with you.
Oh, okay.
So my father was a team show, a radio morning team show.
Right.
Him and his partner were working in Cleveland in the 60s. They were on a top 40 station when oldies were brand new.
Oh.
Wilson Pickett was a brand new artist.
Wow.
Top 40.
Yep.
Contemporary music.
Yeah.
Wilson Pickett, Mustang Sally. I'm going to wait till the midnight hour.
Yeah.
Wilson Pickett.
Yeah.
In the 60s, he's coming to Cleveland to do a show.
Yeah.
And about 2 weeks or a week before the show, there's a record-breaking snow in Cleveland. Shuts down the city.
Oh, no.
Shuts down the city. And here comes the show, and it's Tuesday, and it's coming up on Saturday, and you can't drive in the city.
Yeah.
There's no cars. So no one comes to this show. My dad and his partner get to the show, to the arena.
Yeah.
To
they plow through anyway.
introduce Wilson Pickett.
Yeah.
Nobody is on the roads.
Wow.
Wilson Pickett's bus shows up finally.
Wow.
Because he's got a date.
Yeah.
He's got a gig.
Right, yeah.
And they walk into the arena. There's the promoter, my dad, his partner, and Wilson Pickett.
Oh.
And no one is showing up. No one is going to show up. And Wilson says, well, no one's coming. Give me my money.
Wow.
And the promoter said, no. You get your money after you do your show.
Oh.
So they set up the band. My dad and his partner get up on stage to an empty arena. Ladies and gentlemen, WKYC presents the one and only Wilson Pickett.
Oh, no way.
Wilson Pickett does a concert for an hour and a half to nobody, an empty building, and then he gets paid.
Oh.
So we're not getting paid because this is a fundraiser, but we may be performing to an empty building if no one shows up. And if we're lucky, maybe it'll snow here and we won't have anybody come watch us.
Yeah, we will be praying for snow. But we would really love to have you there. I did pull up the phone number, the theater box office at the Elks Theater. The phone number is 928-777-1370. 928-777-1370.
Call them and tell them you want to buy tickets to the Ronnie and Bo, an evening of comedy featuring the Ronnie and Bo show on November 1st.
Right.
We would appreciate your support.
Yep.
Hey, Ron, what were we talking about in past episodes we were talking about music, something about a platinum. I remember us discussing platinum album.
Yeah, versus gold albums.
Were we talking something specifically, right? There was something in the news, or we were talking something about an act.
We were trying to think about, just the different albums that have, gone platinum or gold, or
so you had
and
brought
what
up,
that means.
Yeah, you had brought up a stat.
I think Michael Jackson or something like that. Yeah.
And you had brought up a stat, and then I sort of tried to share what gold and platinum means and stuff like that. But so I still have that in my brain.
Yeah.
And a couple of days ago, believe it or not, there was a new article out that said the Eagles' greatest hits album, 1971 to 1975, is now, this is a couple of days ago, is now the best-selling album of all time.
Wow.
And what they do in the old days is they would figure out how many copies it sold.
Yep.
And if you sold 500,000 copies, that was considered a gold album or a gold record.
Okay.
If you sold 1 million copies of that album or that song, it was considered platinum.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
That's a
lot.
And
then there's a designation, a diamond designation.
Oh, wow.
That's 10 million. So if you sold 10 million of this song or 10 million copies of that album, you were certified diamond.
Wow.
Okay, so this just came out August 21st. That the Eagles' greatest hits album is now the new best-selling album of all time. And the way they do that is they recalculated the sales, including streams and downloads and, of course, traditional sales. Because in the old days, you went to a record store and you bought the record.
Now that's a different ballgame.
So now they're including downloads and streams. And the Eagles' greatest hits album is now the number one selling album of all time, at 38 times platinum. So it's sold
million.
The album, not the song. The album has sold 38 million copies.
Wow.
Or 38 times platinum. But then I was thinking, if diamond is 10 million, then it's 3 times. It's 3.8 times diamond.
Wow.
By the way,
that's number one now?
Yeah, it became, and it kicked Michael Jackson's Thriller album to second place, because Michael Jackson's Thriller album has 33 times platinum, 33 million sales, compared to the Eagles' greatest hits, 38 million. So there's my music. I need a little music in the morning.
Yeah, I like that.
I need music stuff.
That's a good way to go.
I mean, we weren't really talking about it, but I just wanted to throw that out.
No, I think that's really cool.
Crazy numbers, right?
I love that. I love that. I've got a friend named John Asher, and he lives in Hollywood, and he writes music. I mean, he's a music artist himself, but he's a songwriter, and Britney Spears has used songs he's written, and the Chainsmokers right now, and I can't remember, but I think the Chainsmokers album just went platinum, and he wrote a bunch of stuff on that. And so
incredible.
I got a little snapshot of him holding up because they send you, I guess, the a platinum record with the little plaque underneath that says how many or whatever.
And you get royalties for that.
Yeah.
You'll get a check in the mail every year or every quarter or whatever. The BMI and ASCAP, they'll send you a check for that. Every time it gets into a movie or every time it sells something, they'll give you get royalties for a long, long time, if not a lifetime.
That's really cool.
What's his name?
John Asher.
Is he American or English?
He's American.
The reason I ask, and he knows this, is Peter and Gordon.
Yes.
Was a group in the 60s.
Yeah.
2 English guys.
Yeah.
And it was Peter Asher.
Oh, okay.
Of Peter and Gordon. And Peter and Gordon was an act, a duo.
Yeah.
They had about 3 or 4 hits.
Yeah.
And then Peter Asher went into music producing.
Wow.
And produced James Taylor, produced everybody, and was a big shot in the music business. Peter Asher is.
Oh, that's cool.
Linda Ronstadt did all her whole career. Yeah. Anyways, so I was just wondering
if there's any relation, because I just heard something.
Probably.
Yeah, I heard something about a guy named Tony Asher that had been like gosh, I'm fetching for the story now, but he had been a jingle writer and then bumped into Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys. Yeah. And I think like Good Vibrations and I don't know, a couple other key songs. This jingle writer, bumps into Brian Wilson in an elevator. They get chatting, and then he ends up getting co-writing credits for like 3 of the hugest Beach Boys songs.
No way.
All of a sudden etched into history just when you step into the elevator. So
let's continue this music stuff if you don't mind.
Yeah,
for a little
bit.
I just have 2 stories that popped into my mind. And I don't remember the story, but I remember my dad telling the story. Yeah. And I don't have the facts straight, but you'll understand the point.
Right.
So Elvis was a big artist.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you were a songwriter and Elvis did your song, you were good as gold.
Right, I bet, yeah.
So I can't exactly remember, but it was something like this. Somebody was going through a divorce settlement in the 60s and 70s.
Okay.
And the court was trying to determine, my father knew this person, the court was trying to determine, if he had enough money or if he didn't have enough money or whatever. Yep. There was some kind of discovery.
Right.
Again, I don't have my facts straight.
Right.
And the court proceeding is going on for several months.
Yeah.
And this guy who's going into this court proceeding is a songwriter. And during this court proceeding, Elvis decides to record one of his songs.
Wow.
And he had to prove something to the judge. And so he goes in. So the next day he goes into the court and says, Your Honor, I got this, this paper that's whatever you call it, certified or whatever. Right. Elvis has agreed to do my song, and the judge took the gavel and went, click, he's got enough money. I mean, whatever it was. I don't know if it was, but it was some kind of court case. Yeah, and it was like,
I like that.
And then the other thing, I was watching, I love these music interviews, and I saw an interview. Well, it wasn't a music interview, but it was Louis Gossett Jr.
Yeah.
You know him, the actor?
Iron Eagle.
Yeah, and Officer and a Gentleman. You remember him? So he was on that late night show with what's the guy that does the sports on the NBC stuff? The small
Fred Rogan.
No, and he does the late night with, and he did. I'm so sorry.
No,
here we go again.
Right.
And then he did. Let me spend 20 minutes thinking about this.
I'll try to pull it up.
No. Costas.
Bob Costas.
Do you remember when Bob Costas, this big sports guy? Remember when he had a talk show at midnight or something like that for about a year?
Yeah.
So he had a one-on-one interview in two seats there on the set, and he had Louis Gossett Jr. and they were talking about his movie stuff, and they were talking about his. So I'm watching these interviews, and Louis Gossett Jr. talking about royalties, song royalties.
Oh yeah.
And Louis Gossett Jr. tells this incredible story. I wish I could find that clip. And he says, I'm living in San Francisco, and he says, I'm dirt broke. I mean, I can't pay my rent.
Right.
And he said a couple of months earlier in the 60s, I co-wrote a song with Richie Havens, the old folk guy.
Yeah.
And in Greenwich Village in New York. He said, now I'm in San Francisco. This is before, he became an actor. He's just dirt poor.
Right.
Just broke. And he says, he says, I co-wrote this song with Richie Havens a year before, and he says, I'm getting kicked out of my apartment in San Francisco, and he says, I'm moving all my stuff out, and I'm putting it, in my station wagon.
Right.
And he says, I got this piece of furniture, and he says, I live on this hill, and this hill is as steep as you can imagine, as you can
San
imagine.
Francisco that way, yep.
And he says, I'm pulling this couch couch has got wheels on it, and it's the last piece of furniture out of this apartment that I have. And he says, I'm leaning into it. It wants to go down the hill.
Right.
And I'm holding on to it, walking it down the sidewalk.
Oh, man.
And he said, I stopped by the mailbox, and I'm leaning, against not against it, but pulling this couch, holding this couch while I reach real quick with my right hand to get my mail as I'm leaving this apartment. And I see this envelope, and I open it up with my teeth. And I'm still holding on to this couch. This is a true story. And he says he opens it up with his teeth, and it's a royalty check from the song that he co-wrote with Richie Havens a year prior. He says he looks at the royalty check, he lets the couch go, it rolls down to the end of the street. He says, I made it. He said I'm rich on a song royalty check. Yeah,
that is fantastic.
Yeah, it's good.
Because sometimes those royalty checks, whether it's music or acting, acting buddy of mine, Andy McDermott, and he's doing little stuff, and that. He'll get a check for 14 cents.
Yeah, that's right.
Like 3 years later because it re-aired somewhere. So, I don't know. Those are cool. And John Asher, if you're listening, we are just super thankful for you because he's taken a big risk. He moved out to the LA area and one of those guys that's doing it.
That's great.
But there's no such thing as an overnight success.
No.
And so he's been having great success, but that takes forever for that to translate into a whole big huge world, and he's really making it. So Google John Asher if you're listening, because he's doing amazing stuff out there.
Kenny Rogers is an example of what you're just talking about. Kenny Rogers was a musician, and he was with golly, I should know the name, but he was doing he was with a group in the '60s.
Yeah.
Crystal Minstrel people or something.
Okay.
New Christie Minstrel something.
Oh, yeah.
And he was, what condition is
Sounds
my
like
condition?
A feminine hygiene
no,
products.
No. And he was in the 60s, and he was in L.A. just hitting doors, knocking on doors. And he was doing, what condition is my condition in? Yeah. That's a good song. Anyway, it's a 60s song and acid rock or whatever.
Yeah.
And he didn't make it.
Wow.
And he said, I'm done.
Yeah.
He said, I gave myself 10 years. I was in L.A. banging on every record door. I can't make it.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm from Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
He said, I got enough money.
Yeah.
I'm going to go home in my station wagon. Everything's a station wagon.
Right.
And he says, I'm going to drive home to Houston in my station wagon, and I'm going to buy a 7-Eleven. It's true. It's absolutely true. He said, I'm going to buy a 7-Eleven, and I'm going to work at the counter for the rest of my life. That's absolutely true.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And on the 2 weeks or the 10 days that it took him
to pull that together,
Lucille was released. Released. He had already recorded Lucille, and he said, "I'm done. I recorded it. I released it. It didn't go anywhere."
Yeah. That's
and
nuts.
He's driving back to Houston. By the time he gets to Houston, he's got the #1 record on the radio. And he turns around and starts back into music. Incredible. All sorts of stories.
One of my buddies is named Matt Weddle, and Matt with one T. And his music name that he goes by is Obadiah Parker. He had a band of that name where he was the front man of it. And
do I know him? Was he down here? He came up.
He's performed here. Got a big beard and just
I like
the best voice I think I've ever heard.
Yeah.
But he started out and just playing gigs all around the greater Phoenix area, and but he did an acoustic cover of the Outkast song "Hey Ya," and so that's kind of hip-hoppy and but he turned that into a whole different thing. Somebody had recorded it, I think on their phone or something, at one of his shows, posted it up on YouTube, and it started getting millions of views. And one thing leads to another, and then Matt goes and he's singing the national anthem.
No way.
At Wrigley Field for a Cubs game.
Oh, I do remember this. I met him. You introduced me to him.
Yeah, and
incredibly talented.
Phenomenal. And I mean, he's written his own stuff, several albums now. The Siren and the Saint. You got to go get that one if you're listening, because it's a phenomenal album. And I mean, he's making his living as a musician, and so I mean, he's playing in the Phoenix area and doing shows, and he's just doing what he loves. And he's a legitimate working musician, singer-songwriter. And I'll go on a little rant on behalf of he and his wife Lisa, because Everybody always says, "Oh, you're so good. When are you going to go on The Voice?"
Yeah.
Oh, you're so good. When are you going to go on American Idol? As if today
Got talent. Yeah.
that's the crowning achievement. Well, he's already making his full-time living,
Wow.
supporting a family as that, and he's way better than anybody. He doesn't need that.
Shows you how skewed our perspective is, right?
It really is. So Obadiah Parker, Matt Weddle, go check him out too, because he's a phenomenal talent.
Well, you're a phenomenal talent.
I don't know about that. I'm just riding on the coattails of Mr. Bo Woods every single day.
My coattails can't do another version of Simon and Garfunkel's Bridge Over Troubled Water, or whatever.
Yeah, I can't either. So,
well, Ronnie, this was another fun day with you, and thank goodness we have time to do this. And this is a great season in our lives, and I just love this relationship, and I love that we're doing this.
Yeah,
and I love our listeners.
It's a blast, and thanks so much to Prescott Realty for sponsoring us. You can call them today for a no-commitment free consultation at 928-499-8700.
Now they have specialists in they're specialists in their field, and they have specialists in their office, and give me a rundown on some of the specialists that you can talk with at Prescott Realty.
Yep, Richard Hanna. If you have a custom lot need or question, you're going to want to talk to Richard. Lorinda Johnson for existing residential homes, if you're buying or selling. If you're looking for a brand new home builds, then John Rocha is your guy. Or if you're a first-time home buyer, Kylie Elliott is who you want to talk to. So 928-499-8700, give them a call.
There's no way that they can't meet your real estate needs. Thanks to Prescott Realty for sponsoring the Ronnie and Bo Show.
Thanks for listening to the Ronnie and Bo Show, available on your favorite podcast provider. Please connect with the Ronnie and Bo Show on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and RonnieandBoShow.com. Send comments to RonnieandBoShow@gmail.com. This is your announcer speaking. I'm Shotgun Tom Kelly.